All right, I'm recording now.
No, if one of you guys wants to intro, go for it.
Last time I
Cool.
did the
I'll
intro, both
intro.
of you guys were like, you sure you want to keep that one?
Perfect intro coming in 3, 2. Hello and welcome back to the Magic We Have at Home podcast. I am your host Bjorn, and I am joined today by my two co-hosts. Still perfect intro. By my two co-hosts, Ren,
Hello.
and my other more judgmental co-host, Bear.
Hey, how's it going, guys? A little judgmental this morning.
So
More judgmental.
today, because we are just such great friends, we decided that we wanted to build some sort of friends commander decks. So we are all three here to design some sort of friends forever partner background commander, some sort of commander deck where we have two spells in the command zone. Whether, like I said, that's partners or backgrounds or friends forever or doctor's companion or what have you. I don't know what these guys have brought. So we're going to be looking into this mechanic just a little bit because, again, we're such great friends. Your friends
It
could
seems
never.
kind of forced. I don't know the way you're saying it.
Nope. I said this was a perfect intro, so it's perfect.
Okay.
Well, I think let's just jump into it. Ren, do you want to explain what you're doing first?
Yes. So I've had this idea since Baldur's Gate came out, and it's been a while. Um, and either it really speaks a lot about my patience or my inability to think critically, because I still don't know how to get this idea to work. I want to be playing Shadowheart Dark Justiciar, who is a 3 and a black commander for 1 and a black tap, sack another creature, draw X cards where X is that creature's power, choose a background. And I want to run it with Raised by Giants. Raised by Giants, I think, is the worst background. Um, Commander creatures you own have base power toughness 10/10 and are giants in addition to their other types. So I've had this idea where I either figure out how to copy Shadowheart or I just cast like big creatures and just kind of try and fly through the deck as fast as possible. Now, like this could be Storm, this could just be like not combo because I don't really enjoy that, but like a deck that just builds enough mana to just kind of force out a situation that has to be dealt with. And with Shadowheart's draw, my goal is to just kind of stay safe during that. And I honestly have no idea where I want to go with this deck, other than I draw cards and I kill my own stuff. So I would love some help on this one.
So, I mean, I think Raised by Giants is interesting.
You mean
Sorry, you.
bad? It's bad.
Well, it is 6. It does give your commander 10/10. My thing with that is just like as soon as your commander's a 10/10, why are you going to want to tap it and draw cards?
You probably wouldn't. You probably
Yeah,
just want to start hitting people.
which is I think interesting. Um, I don't know. I think this could be a pretty fun deck. I honestly think one of the biggest strengths of it is by choosing this combination is that you have access to black and green. So you get very big creatures from green and very good death triggers from black. Uh, I think also green black's going to be the best color combination for like reanimation and getting things back from the graveyard. So I think there's something you can work with here. The first card that comes to mind, honestly, with this is Yargle and Multani. Uh, Yargle and Multani is a 17/3, 18/6. Whoops, an
18/6, and then
18/6.
Yargle himself is also.
Yeah. So you could you could cast a Yargle and Multani, hit somebody with it, and then draw 18 cards, which I think would be pretty funny. Um, yeah, I think that you could go with this. I don't honestly know that you would cast. Um, I don't know that you would cast Raised by Giants very much, to be honest. But I like the color combination. I would honestly like looking at some of the other green backgrounds. I kind of wonder if some of the other green backgrounds might work better for you, or if you specifically really want Raised by Giants.
I I do want Raised by Giants
Mm.
very specifically. It's this card that has been rattling around my head, and so I thought, oh, I could probably swap it to like the Cloakwood Hermit to make squirrels on end step because that'd be cute, and then I'd have some like some blockers if I end up sacrificing my creatures. That'd probably be better. Or I could run something like the counters guy, or I could just run the dragons guy and just not cast it.
Well, or you could run the Dragons guy, Acolyte of Bahamut. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah,
That one would be interesting because then you could run green black dragons. Those are some big creatures you could sacrifice. They'd be cheap. I was actually
Yeah.
looking at Hardy Outlander. Whenever this creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life than that player, another target creature you control gets +X/+X, where X is this creature's power. That would actually be a funny one to put in. Actually, you should put that in your 99, because if you get Raised by Giants out and you have your commander out, your commander is a 10/10, and then when you attack the player with the most life, you can turn whatever creature you want into a 10/10, sacrifice it, draw 10 cards.
Okay. Yeah. So I could just double my commander's power.
Yeah. That would be kind of an interesting
There's
kind
a
of thing to
20/20.
run. There's a 20. What creature is 20/20?
So if I've got Raised by Giants out, then she's a 10/10 base. And then Hardy Outlander is only commander creatures get the whenever this creature attacks.
Yeah, but you can give any target creature +X/+X.
Oh, another target creature you control gets XX. Oh, interesting. Yargle and Multani.
Yeah.
Here's my
26,
36.
28.
28.
Now
36.
here's my question:
Or
Does
is
a
it
background
18?
commander
Yeah.
does this go against the idea of having two commanders in the command zone? The whole friends, partners. It kind of is like you have an enchantment in the command zone.
It's the exact same as that.
Oh
It's
my
like,
goodness. Okay, fine. I'm just making sure it's not going
Where-
against the spirit of the competition.
oh,
Nah.
spirit of the competition partner goes against the spirit of the competition
That's
because
fair.
it's so strong.
Yeah, that's true. That pretty much is.
Actually, one thing that I learned, this might apply today. Partner decks, like decks that run partners, are also really buffed by backgrounds. So, like, if you're running partners, you can run backgrounds just in the 99 because the background applies to both of them. So, if you have partner
Yes.
commanders and you put Raised by Giants in the 99, both of them would get base power toughness 10/10.
Yes, it's pretty disgusting.
Mhm.
I have a couple partner decks because they're very strong, like always.
Mhm.
And one of them is my Yoshimaru Jessica Thrice Reborn one, and then another one is Timna Thrasios. And both of them, I think, have one or two enchantments in there that are backgrounds because they just like they can warp a game around them if they're played early enough or somebody doesn't have enchantment hate.
Okay, so let's get back to your game plan. If we're gonna go Raised by Giants, and you want to sacrifice big creatures, do you want your win condition to be combat damage, or do you want your win condition to be something along the lines of drawing out your entire deck?
I cannot draw out my entire deck because I will die.
Yeah, isn't there cards though, or are all of those cards in blue? All the
I
cards
think
that
they
make
are all in blue. From my memory, I'm not remembering anything that's not in blue.
I think maybe what you look at then is running some sort of like graveyard loops, to sacrifice the thing, draw a bunch of cards, and then return stuff from the graveyard. Like a lot of reanimate style stuff, I think would be probably a good idea.
Yeah,
I'm just imagining this deck is going to be very expensive, and so maybe cheating cards out of the graveyard to then sacrifice might work pretty well.
Yeah. Is it Encore? What is there's a card from the Thrilling Encore. It reads instant 4 and a black. Put onto the battlefield under your control all creatures in all graveyards that were put there this turn. Or put there from the battlefield this turn. So that's kind of cracked for this deck.
Here's one actually, Zooey Feet. I know we've talked about this card a couple times. This one actually works very well in this deck. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's a skeleton in addition to its other types and has no abilities. So you can mill, like you could mill or discard your big cards and then use Zooey Feet to return them. And if you're returning something big like a Yargle, it doesn't really matter.
Microphone's
I
kinda
feel
far
bad.
away,
I'm
so
not
let me
super
just
helpful with
pick up the
backgrounds.
game.
I didn't even know what backgrounds really were until recently, and so these were all from the D&D set, or no?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. I don't think anything has come out of not D&D. So
Okay. No, I'm looking on them
So
all.
I
They're
mean,
really cool, but I just wasn't. I'm not super helpful with this, unfortunately.
I guess what I'm trying to figure out, and I will admit I am maybe a bit stumped. I think this is one where if I knew more combos, I'd be more useful. But essentially, I'm trying to figure out how you are going to pay for the big creatures turn after turn. Like essentially, if you're going to cast these big creatures that you're then going to sacrifice, how do you continue to refill your board and pay for them? You know,
not
like card
with
draw clearly will not be the issue in this deck. I'm worried more about mana.
Hmm.
I think I just run a lot of ramp, like a lot of like 4-drop ramp,
Hmm.
because like 2 lands on the battlefield, and then some like you can play 2 lands per turn cards, like an Azusa Lost But Seeking. How expensive is that these days? That's $15. All right, my Azusa stonks are so high right now. Explore.
Um, one card type actually that does come to mind uh, is Hydras.
That's just like big mana sink though.
Well, I think most Hydras, I feel like a lot of the Hydras, maybe I'm wrong on this, um, are lower cost. Like you could run a lot of the ones that are in like the 2 to 4 range, because a lot of them deal with 1/1 counters, and they like the big one that comes to mind is Mana Gorger Hydra. 1/1 when a player casts a spell, put a 1/1 counter on Mana Gorger Hydra. That's one that's only 3 mana and will get big enough to draw you a lot of cards really quickly.
Yeah. That's a
And
good
so
one.
then I'm just kind of looking at some other Hydras that I just feel like I don't know. Like if you go like 1/1 counters and set up value engines that way, then
Wow.
maybe you could grow them. So okay, here's a card: Grakmaw, Skyclave Ravager. He enters the battlefield with 3/1/1 counters on it. So he's 3 mana, 3/1/1 counters. When another creature you control dies, if it had a 1/1 counter on it, put a 1/1 counter on Grakmaw. And when Grakmaw dies, create an XX black and green Hydra creature token, where X is the number of 1/1 counters on Grakmaw. So that's one where like you put him out. He's a 3/3. He's a yeah. You put him out. He's a 3/3. Sacrifice a couple other creatures. He gets big. Sacrifice him. Draw a bunch of cards, and then he replaces himself with a token. Um, I just think things like that. I think a Gold Vein Hydra would be good because that like it replaces itself with mana, so you get it really big, sacrifice it, draw a bunch of cards, and then it provides immediately the mana that you
Which
need to
one?
cast those cards. Gold Vein Hydra. Uh,
It's
yeah, I'm
directly
kind
to
of
the
thinking
left of
Hydras might
Grakmaw and
be.
Scryfall. So just
Yep.
That's funny.
yeah.
I'm an architect just typing these things
Oh,
up
okay,
as you
okay.
did you find them?
I'm just wondering if maybe Hydras are kind of the way to go, and then like run like 1/1 counters, so you can play lower to the ground creatures, and then build up their counters. Uh, yeah, I feel like Hydras with like a reanimation a sub theme
Sounds fun.
goes well, and I don't know my Hydras very well. I just feel like this might do just fine.
Yeah, you're playing big stompy creatures. So, I mean, nothing can go wrong there.
That's true.
Also, Breach the Multiverse is $10 now.
Oof.
Guys, what a world we live in.
Wait, I
Like,
have
this is
that. Hold up.
insane. This is insane value.
Really, is it been more expensive?
It used to be like 20. It's
Oh,
been
Why were
just
you looking at
reprinted.
Breach? Why were you looking at Breach the Multiverse?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Each everybody mills 10, and then you get 3 cards for 7 mana. I don't know.
Hmm.
I
Okay, yeah.
thought it would be like a really good, like sneaky deck tech to have Altar of the Brood in the deck, where I just I oh no, it's whenever another what's the whenever you draw a card, each opponent mills. I think there's an artifact for it.
I think that's in blue.
No, I don't want the blue enchantment. I don't want Psychic Corrosion. You're right.
I like the way your deck's going though. I think this is interesting.
Are you thinking running like a mill sub theme as well?
Yeah, just because I think this deck doesn't. So, for the audience, I am a Magic the Gathering player that likes having tricks in decks. Like most of my decks have 1 or 2 tricks in it, where it's like if you don't account for it, like there's a chance it does nothing of value to you, but there's also a chance it applies pressure. Like it forces you to lose lands, it forces you to discard something. And so I really want to kind of run like maybe like a mill side theme that just forces people out of things that they might have otherwise, especially removal with this deck. Um, I think cards like Farewell would just kill this deck. I think Graveyard Hate would kill this deck.
Okay, taking
Yeah.
notes, taking
Um,
notes. Yep, yep, yep.
Are you gonna run Marin of Clan Neltoth in here? I feel like she's
no,
actually very good.
She
No?
is great.
Marin is so incredibly good, but I have built a Marin deck, and this deck would easily become a Marin deck. So I don't want to do that.
It's like playing
That's
Soul
true.
Ring.
She does kind of take things over.
Marin is one of my favorite commanders in the game. And do you remember the last time I played my Marin of Clan Neltoth deck?
I do not.
Okay, it was when I was in a townhouse in college. So it's been a couple years.
Oh my god.
And that deck never lost.
This is sounding an awful lot like my deck, so I'm gonna switch my idea up.
Oh no. No, do the same thing. We can
No,
we can beat
we
Bjorn.
literally the
The
crossover
king,
here.
long live the
The
king.
crossover here between cards is crazy. Like I've heard, yeah, I'm just gonna probably switch it up.
So many cards you were planning on running.
Well, I already have the deck pretty much built. It's Abzan, so I mean the crossover with the sub themes and the mill and it's all there. So I have my backup plan. Luckily,
no, don't change it. Don't change it.
Don't change it. I believe
I
you.
don't know. This
Tell
one's
us about
pretty
your deck,
funny.
Bear.
Okay, well here's
This is a
my
perfect
idea.
transition.
No, let's
Tell,
go into it.
Bear,
Let's
tell
go
us
into
about
it.
your deck.
Okay, it's Zinder Split and Okan. We have the Eye of Wisdom
What?
and the Eye of Chaos. That's my backup plan. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, the alternative is Tevesh Szat, which is a mono black planeswalker. And his -10 is gain control of all commanders and put all of them from the command zone onto the battlefield under your control. And so I figured this would be a funny episode to have that. But the more I'm listening, the more I feel like our decks are going to be so similar. Like Marin is in my deck. The Spore Frog also in my deck. The deck that I have built around this. And so while it would be fun to like kind of revisit this and recook it, I think I'd be more interested in playing a coin flipping is it deck. So I think that's the direction I'll go if that sounds fun. I mean, it's up to you guys. If you guys think it's no problem, then maybe I'll just run it. But
I have a pushback. Imagine you steal my commander, my background.
that's true. Okay.
You get to
Bjorn's
steal our
commander.
backgrounds.
Bjorn, yeah, I mean it's in the command zone, so it's fair game, I think.
No, it just says all commanders, right?
Well, my background is a commander.
Is it a commander? And its type?
It's part of it.
I wonder what the
I'll
rules
look it
are
up.
on that. Because if the rule is that those are also technically a commander, then it just says gain control of all commanders. So I mean, put all commanders from
It
the
doesn't
command
take
zone onto the
creatures.
battlefield. Hmm.
Oh, okay. So here's what I'm finding. It says that he doesn't gain control of the background, but the backgrounds all say commanders you own. So if the background is out, that commander still gets the effect from it,
Oh, that's
regardless of who
great.
controls it.
Because they own it still.
Oh, true. It's like old slivers. That's sick.
Yeah. So you will still get the benefit.
Nice.
That does.
So yeah,
sound
run
fun.
Tevesh Szat.
Oh, fine. All right, we'll run it this week. We'll do a
I don't
coin
like Zinder
flipping
Split
episode.
No Okun.
You don't?
I'm
They're
not a fan.
They're so
no.
strong.
Fine.
Well,
It's
I think go for it.
I have a Zinder Split Okum deck.
Oh, you do?
And it's like it's all memes. Like
Oh.
I'm running every single Fallout bobblehead in the deck. And still, like I've been able to get him like the doubling one up to like lethal damage and just murder somebody because it's all about just luck
Yeah.
instead of like any good deck because they will run the deck itself. You give him double strike, you can just kill a player.
That's
So
fair.
they are so good.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Understandable.
One of the things with it is that like it's technically based on luck, but then they've put out a lot of cards that are like if you flip a coin, flip 2 coins, or I believe there's even a card that says like if you lose a coin flip, you win it, or when you flip a coin, you choose the result of it.
Yeah, there's
like
some of
essentially
those.
you can there's like hedge your bets cards, and then there's ones that's like actually you just choose the outcome. And as soon as you do that, then the deck stops being about gambling and just starts being super powerful cards.
That
Like
does sound fun.
super powerful cards.
Interesting. Well, I won't play it. That's okay. Yeah, I'll give you a quick rundown. This deck is already built. This was one of the first decks I ever created, with the help of you guys. Actually, I think I really wanted to start learning how to build decks before you invited me to be a part of this channel. And so I was like, I want to build something kind of fun with like a partner, maybe something unique. And then as I was looking at Tevesh Szat, I was like, I wonder what people normally play with him. And so I chose green white Sidar Kondo of Jamura, or however you want to say that, just because it was like the least played commander combo with him, or it's one of the lowest, as far as EDH says. So I wanted to create something kind of unique as far as the combo pairing. And the deck ended up being kind of interesting, and I think I've played it against you guys once in the past as well. But it's Abzan with some mill, some recursion, some token themes, a lot of tokens, a lot of token creatures dying, and a whole giant package of ramp. So I don't really remember how this played, to be honest. It's been a long time, but I think it's an interesting combo for sure. I designed it originally to make a lot of little creatures that were really scrappy and hard to block because of Sodar Kondo. Because his text reads, creatures your opponents control without flying or reach can't block creatures with power 2 or less. So I built this around like, how many little creatures can I get out onto the battlefield and swing? And how many like power 2 or less creature, like non-token creatures, can I get out as well that will be able to swing in and hit? Just to keep you guys busy until I get Tevesh Szat up to 10, which is a lot. That's a lot of
Yeah,
loyalty.
I think that works actually pretty well. So Sidar is 4 mana and
Mm-hmm.
Tevesh Szat is 5.
Mm-hmm.
And you want creatures that are power 2 or less, and you can find a million of those that cost 3 or less mana. So you can essentially spend your first 3 turns either like combination ramping and putting out little creatures just to get the value, and then those are blockers. And then turn 4, Sidar, turn 5, or earlier if you've been ramping, Tevesh Szat. And I really do think like Sidar all on his own is incredibly annoying.
Oh
Like
yeah.
he is a huge pain. Like you can't block creatures, and even when you can, the trades are really bad. Um, like that, it's just Sidar is just a whole thing to deal with all on his own.
Yeah. And he's got
And
flanking
I
too,
do
which is
see
kind of
that
annoying.
working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do see that working pretty well, to just let you build up Tevesh Szat.
Hmm.
Uh, I think uh, I think something that you could consider, and this is just where my mind goes because I run a lot of decks like this. I love the little just like 1 mana sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So like village rights, altars reap.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what is it like? Unfortunate end. There's so many of these cards. I like those just for getting extra card draw, and Tevesh Szat provides the little black thralls,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
2/0 ones. Uh, I think if you don't have one, having some sort of aristocrat sub theme, it's just I found that to be one of the easiest and consistent ways to get value. And if you're running all these little low to the ground creatures, uh, yeah, all these little like low to the ground creatures that are already going to be doing quite a bit in attacking, like having just the extra value that you can get it from them by sacrificing them, it makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. I like that.
Um, Another thing you can consider if you want to do Tevesh Szat, you do have access to green, which is the proliferating color.
I didn't think
Uh,
about that.
I believe, I think it's green and blue that proliferate the most. You could also do some proliferating or like hardened scales type things. I don't remember if hardened scales is the one. I know there's cards that are like if you'd put a counter on a permanent, put an additional one. I don't remember if hardened scales does that exactly or if it's just 1/1 counters. Give me a sec.
But it's 1/1 counters.
Yeah,
I
I
remember
think
it.
that there's cards that are similar, uh, that just do counters. Let me see if I can find one really
I
quick.
think this is something you and I discussed back in the
Yeah,
day a little bit. Is the
Winding Constrictor is a 2/3 snake. If you would put one or more counters on an artifact or oh dang it, artifact or creature, dang it.
oh dang. Yeah, I think you and I
I
discussed
s-
like proliferate as a sub theme or at least a theme in here, and I can't remember if I said no or if it was like, I think Ren may have said no. I can't remember who said it, but the idea being that it was gonna be too powerful if like you +2 him the first turn you get out, and then you have a way to proliferate like 2 or 3 times, and like by turn, I don't know, 3 turns after you get him out, he's already at 10. I think somebody, I don't
Mhm.
remember who was saying that, but I think I said I wanted it to be a little scrappier, so a little bit more like we're doing a lot of combat, I have to protect him. It's like a ticking time bomb that you kind of know when
You
it's
want
gonna
to
go off.
earn
You
it
know?
rather
Yeah,
than cheat it.
yeah.
Hmm.
Like where I have to protect him for 3 turns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you're going for.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy
I
to. I'm
do
happy to
also though.
reconsider though.
I'd be curious to see how powerful, like if you just throw in some extra proliferate stuff, how powerful that is. Because you already are going to have to get to 5 mana.
That's true.
Um, like it's not like it's free.
That's fair. Yeah,
Uh,
it is gonna cost a lot to get him out, and then
so I see. Okay, I like atomize. Like I just searched proliferate cards in these
how
colors.
do you?
Atomized.
Oh, I'm spelling it wrong. That's why.
Uh, Atomize 2 green black, destroy target non-land permanent, proliferate. So like, I mean, that's just an easy one where you replace your beast within
Yeah.
with an atomize and just gets you a little bit extra. Blight Belly Rat is a 2/2 with Toxic 1. That's kind of fun when it's hard to block and you get flanking, and then when it dies, you proliferate.
Atomize is $30. Oh, it's just that printing. Sorry. It's a
I
$20
was
card.
like, what?
Yeah.
You could do like Canker Bloom. Pay 1, sacrifice it, destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, or proliferate. Just things like that. They give you like
Yeah.
you're not running
Passive.
like a whole.
Yeah.
It's not the only thing, but you just have little things where it's like, oh, I have this creature out, I can get a little bonus here.
Sure.
You could do Evolution Sage. When a land you control enters, proliferate.
Oh, we're doing that.
That won't get out of hand.
Okay.
So I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe like a little bit of proliferating in here. I think would be kind of fun.
Okay. Cool.
Norn's Choir Master. This is cool. 5/4 flying first strike for Exian Angel. When a commander you control enters the battlefield or attacks, proliferate. That one's interesting because if you have that out when you cast Tevesh Szat, like he will enter and then you get to proliferate him on enter.
Yeah.
And then you could attack. You could attack because you would have, if you have Sidar already out, you attack with Sidar.
That's
So you could
true.
end up actually proliferating him 2 times the turn he comes out,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Martyr for the Cause, 2/2 human soldier. When it dies, proliferate. So, Plague Maw Beast is a 4/3 sacrifice a creature, proliferate. I'm trying to sell Bear on proliferating his Tevesh Szat.
I like this.
I was thinking the same thing. There's there's the elf, the landfall elf, that just proliferates once each turn. So it gets your commander up to 2 effects. You can run chainmail to be able to activate it again.
Chainmail.
Yes, it's an older equipment. It's a planeswalker equipment that basically lets you take an extra planeswalker effect each turn.
Chain Veil?
Chain Veil, there we go.
Oh, okay. I was like,
The
it only
thralls,
says
the thralls are just creatures, dang.
for 4 and tap for each planeswalker you control, you may activate one of its loyalty abilities once this turn, as though none of. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you get an extra trigger.
Ooh.
That's cool.
Hey, Ren, here's a good card actually for your deck. Unnatural Restoration. 1 and a green sorcery. Return target permanent from your graveyard to your hand. Proliferate. If you run the 1/1 counters.
I mean, that's also a good choice for Bear.
It is also a good choice for Bear. It's just kind of also fun for you because we were talking about reanimating and 1/1 counters.
Yeah.
Bear Sword of Truth and Justice is actually pretty solid. When a creature deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it, and on a creature you control, then proliferate.
Dude, this
So you can
this
buff up
deck
some of
has
those smaller
jumped over
guys.
$100 since we started doing card recommendations. This is crazy.
It's okay.
I mean, are you okay with that budget wise? I mean, we're kind of pushing
Well,
the
what was
envelope.
the? I mean, typically we try to stay under 200.
Yeah, now it's at 3.
It's at 300.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
dude,
man.
Sword of Truth and Justice is like $40.
Oh, it is. I thought that was a
Bro.
cheap
Norn's
one.
Choir
I
Master.
Now
get
we're
what
Norn's
$40.
Choir Master's
I
25.
oh,
Oh no, that's not worth it at
Scryfall doesn't show
all.
prices.
It does. You just have
I
to
still
look in the
think
top
I still
right.
think you can go proliferate.
All right, we'll leave it at $300 then. We'll call it good.
Yo, wait.
All right, I will counter this by only running $100 deck. So
Oh my gosh.
All right, I will not counter this by making it worse.
okay, well, I'm kind of excited to see how this goes.
Yeah.
Do you care? Do you care just for time if we
No,
move
yeah,
on to
you
mine?
should go for it. Let's hear it.
Okay. So I was actually kind of excited by this because I've had a deck idea that I kind of wanted to bring on the podcast anyway, and this actually gave me a chance to I kind of got to kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. So the commander that I want to run is Alora, Merry Thief. She's a 3/2 rogue, halfling rogue. That says whenever you attack, up to one target attacking creature can't be blocked this turn. Return that creature to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. So just low to the ground, deal combat damage, which I've been kind of wanting to run some sort of just like combat damage centered deck, but it's specifically around like unblockable creatures, and then run some like tempo with it. So things like getting value off of combat damage. Like I like the like when you deal damage to a creature, draw a card type stuff, and then running things like return target creature or return creatures to people's hands. I like the idea of kind of bouncing people's stuff and trying to keep the board kind of open and making it hard to block me.
Yeah.
So I feel like Alora gives me an opportunity to both run a background commander and also to play like try to figure out a blue tempo deck.
Yeah.
Now,
do you have a background?
I have two that I'm kind of trying to decide between. The first one is Feywild Visitor, which is when one or more non-token,
Make the pixie dragons.
No, it's actually it's whenever one or more non-token creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying. So just a little bit of extra payoff for dealing damage with a creature. Make a bunch of 1/1s, find ways to buff them up. They're evasive because they're flying. I don't know, like do something fun with that maybe. So that would make the deck mono blue, and I don't think that's a particularly strong effect, but I think it could be kind of fun. Like just like how can I eke some value out of this, you know?
Yeah.
And the other one that I've been looking at is Far Traveler. Commander creatures you own, so this is 2 and a white. Commander creatures you own have, at the beginning of your end step, exile up to one target tapped creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. I like this one for a couple reasons. First off, I already have this idea of like returning creatures to my hand with Alora. So I could go like more of an ETB route and try to like get continual value. So I could use Far Traveler to bounce creatures that give me additional value on ETB, so I could like attack with them, maybe get combat damage trigger, return them to the battlefield, and get an additional ETB each turn. But the other thing that I thought that was cool with this is that so I could go into that, and then I could use Alora to return creatures with like cast triggers, and basically try to double up on ETBs essentially between the two. Or I could use Far Traveler to kind of like counteract Alora's ability, because maybe you swing with a creature that you don't want to get blocked, but you really don't want it getting returned to hand. But they're both end step triggers, so I could use Far Traveler to then exile that creature and return it to the battlefield. And then the Alora trigger would just not have a target because that creature left. So essentially I could get around, like if I wanted to get around returning the creature to hand, I could also use Far Traveler to get around that. So I'm kind of leaning towards that one. I just think it gives me more options. It seems a little bit more powerful. It opens up a second color. And I like that it kind of gives me like extra creative ability. To be honest, now that I'm explaining it out loud, this is the first time I've like verbally processed this. I think I really want to do Far Traveler over Feywild Visitor.
Okay, yeah. Have you considered there's another one? It's little known, not many people play it. It's called Raised by Giants. You could swing a very powerful.
I'm interested.
You could swing a very powerful.
Swing a 10/10.
Yeah. I don't know. Just a thought for you. I know we haven't. Really
I did actually look pretty closely at the green ones because I haven't run. I don't play Simic. Simic is like by far my least played color combination.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at the green, like maybe this could be a fun way to come up with Simic. And I looked at the dragon one, the Disciple of Bahamut, and I was like, maybe I could just run like blue-green dragons. That sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
But no, I decided against that. I like I don't know. I like the idea of either running the mono blue or the blue and white. My only fear with blue and white is that I am then creating a flicker deck essentially. And flicker decks,
100%.
Flicker decks can just be like trigger city and very easy to accidentally go like infinite with them, or just create these turns where you're chaining so much extra value. They can just get out of hand really quick. So that's something it's both an allure and a something I'm a little concerned about is like I don't want to make a deck that is just like doing so many things and having so many triggers. But I
Sure.
also am kind of tempted like, well, can I find that right balance of like I'm bouncing 1 to 2 creatures a turn and I'm not like chaining a ton of like extra stuff on top of that.
Yeah.
So kind of curious to see where this goes. And I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on it.
Okay, so you're leaning Far Traveler over Feywild Visitor. So you are
Yeah.
going. Okay.
I do know that one thing I want to do is bounce other people's stuff back to their hand.
Okay. I'm gonna
Like
start running more hexproof. Got it.
like I want to value from combat damage. I think value from entering, and I want to return other people's stuff to their hands.
This sounds like
So
a very fun
like,
deck to play against.
well, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. This is good.
I'm
This is
I'm
good.
gonna I'm gonna try to keep it like I said. I don't want it to be like so OP. Like I'm returning everything. I don't want to run like I'm not gonna run like Hullbreaker Horror. Is it Hullbreaker Horror or
Yes.
Swallow of
No,
Fleet?
it's Hullbreaker Horror.
I'm not
True.
gonna run that. I
That's
want
true.
to be like I return a card to your hand on your turn.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Um, so like one card I like in this already is Cloud of Fairies. It's just a 1/1 with flying. When it enters, you untap 2 lands. So it's a little evasive creature. I can either return it with Alora and just keep casting it every turn. It pays for itself. It also has cycling, so I can discard it and draw a card. Uh, or I can bounce it and get extra lands off of it. Uh, so stuff like that. I just want to get like little value and see if I can garner enough little value with kind of like random blue and white cards that I can win a game.
Yeah. I mean, a good creature for that's Charming Prince. It's a 2/2 for 2. One and a white. When this creature enters, you can choose one. So you have a few different options. You can scry, you can gain life, or you can exile target creature you own and return to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. So another flicker effect with Charming Prince. That might be kind of a fun one to cycle, especially if you're going to flicker him. You can end up flickering something else if you want, or just kind of utilize him to gain a little bit of extra life or to scry. So that's one
Mm-hmm.
I've never used him, but I've seen him as a
Charming
recommendation.
Prince would actually it would be interesting to run in this because my if I flicker him and then use him to flicker another creature,
Yeah.
since my original flicker trigger is already at the beginning of my end step, that creature wouldn't return to the end of my next
Oh,
turn.
that's interesting.
So it'd be gone for a whole turn. So it'd almost be like a way to I don't know. I'm not sure like it'd be interesting to see if I could come up with a way to make that useful.
Ren doesn't have any
One
ideas
card
either.
that I found for this that I liked was Bloodforged Battle Axe. When a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of Bloodforged Battle Axe.
Yeah.
So it just gives the creature +2/+0, and then you make copies of it.
Yeah, it's a great one.
So just make a bunch of little fairies or something, little 1/1s, and then just give them all big axes.
Yeah, that is funny. That's a. I mean, if you're gonna do that, like you could have an equipment sub theme, but then I would try to include stuff that makes activating equip costs cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, just more value off of creatures entering Aphera, God of the Polis. She's a 6/5, but she isn't unless your devotion is 7 or more. At the beginning of each upkeep, if you had another creature enter the battlefield under your control last turn, draw a card. I've seen a few other things that are like this too, where creatures entering or just giving you value off of something that you're going to be doing regularly. I think that could be beneficial just to kind of keep your engine moving, because that's the one thing I could kind of see being a little interesting is if you're either returning stuff back to your hand or flickering stuff. Sometimes you don't get the card draw that you need, and sometimes your hand is just ends up becoming full of stuff that you started the game with. And so, as long as you're cycling through that, I think that could be helpful. I am really interested in a lot of these creatures that when they enter, you exile another target permanent you control and then return it to the battlefield. There's a Felidar Guardian. It's a cat beast.
See, okay, that is actually exactly what I want to avoid
Okay.
because what like that is the kind of typical flicker plan, and you just end up like you can make loops with that where you if you have enough of them, you can just like this one exiles this one, which exiles this one, and then you just go in like a circle, and you get like you can get infinite ETBs or at least a ton of ETBs in it, like leaving the battlefield. It just becomes very overwhelming really quickly. Like
Okay.
it
Okay.
is actually a pretty powerful game plan.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of what I want to try to avoid, though.
Okay.
Like, I'd rather only have, like, I exile like a creature a turn, and kind of build around like getting creatures that I would want to be exiled and returned once. Maybe so that they can serve as a blocker, or because they're going to give me additional stuff. But I don't want to just like, I don't want to chain it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
There is a background that's another one that's kind of interesting called Candlekeep Sage. It's just command creatures you own have when this creature enters or leaves the battlefield, draw a card. So
That's pretty good.
yeah, I mean, I'd have to be bouncing my commander. One thing with that, and one thing with this deck in general is I have to kind of, well, I guess I could just use Alora and the Far Traveler. Like I could use that ability on herself. That could be kind of interesting to draw some extra cards. I would probably actually include that.
Here's a fun enchantment class from Bloomborough that's pretty fun. It's only one of the uncommon ones, so it's not like the most powerful, but it's called Gossip's Talent for 2. 1 in a blue. When first level, whenever a creature you control enters, you surveil. So that could be nice. Level 2, whenever you attack, target attacking creature with power 3 or less can't be blocked. So you're kind of getting a similar unblockable effect, which is nice. And then level 3, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage, you may exile it and then return it to the battlefield. So that one, it's similar to the, like, if you don't want to return it to your hand, you can bounce it with this instead as well. And it's just an enchantment that hangs out. So that could be just another value piece that does a similar effect, but it doesn't seem like it chains super hard.
I could also run ninjutsu cards and sneak cards.
Ooh, now you're talking.
That would work.
That would be fun.
Yes.
I haven't played a
Get
lot
ready
of ninjutsu, so
You know, now that I think of that, maybe I'll just run. What's her face as my commander, the ninja card.
There's a couple.
Her name. Oh my gosh.
Yuriko?
Tiger's Claw. Yuriko. Thank you.
Tiger Shadow?
Yes.
No, because it goes against the theme of the challenge, which is friendship.
It's true. It's true. That is a very anti-friendship card.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay, yeah, actually, so I'm looking at like ninjutsu cards. Moonsnare Specialist has ninjutsu 3, and when it enters the battlefield, return up to 1 target creature to its owner's hand. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Like just ETB, return something to somebody's hand. This is all coming together.
Okay, so ninjutsu.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
I like it. Is there green?
seen-
Is there
I haven't
green,
actually
black,
looked
and
at
white ninjutsu cards or no?
Not really. There's
Ninjutsu
probably
is
some black
mostly
ones.
blue. Yeah,
There's
blue, black.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find some. If there are, I might throw a few in mine as well, because I'll have some unblockable little guys, so it might be kind of funny.
Sorry, I just searched cards that say sneak, and there's an unhinged card called Cheaty Face. And it says if Cheaty Face is in your hand, you may sneak Cheaty Face onto the battlefield. If an opponent catches you right away, that opponent may exile Cheaty Face. So,
That's fun.
I love
like
that card.
That's great.
Sneak actually is pretty interesting. I haven't looked at the sneak cards yet, but like Donatello's Technique, it's a sorcery. It costs a blue. You may cast the spell for blue if you also return an unblocked attacker to you control to a hand during the declare blockers step. Draw 2 cards. So you might see a little bit of Ninja Turtles showing up.
I was gonna say we are not doing that. There's
Let's
there's plenty of
go.
ninjutsu in black and green. What are you guys talking about?
Maybe we can talk about this just to close out. I have very mixed feelings on the Ninja Turtles cards. I think on their own, the idea of turtles that are ninjas works just fine in Magic. No problems with that. To me, it's honestly like, okay, like I like the card. So I'm looking at the card Leonardo Big Brother, and it's just Leonardo with some of the other ninjas in the background. He's like cutting through a training post. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
No problem with that. It's the cards like Game Over, maybe, or
well, they've even had turtle ninjas before. I just found a turtle ninja from the Kamigawa set. Like there are turtle ninjas that fit the vibe. I think it's like the setting in which they live. Like
it's I don't like the New Yorkie cards. I don't like the video gaming cards. I don't like the pizza cards. Yeah,
I like the pizza.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I feel like the Ninja Turtles, the combat-y, the Eastern Japanese vibes. I have no problems actually with any of those. It is all the more, it's the other stuff around it that is more bothering me, I think, about that set.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'd say there's always been like there's snake ninjas and rat ninjas and insect ninjas and like
Hmm.
we've had these kind of I mean for a while now we've had these kind of like multi-creature type crossovers that
Hmm.
are a little bit fantastical and crazy. I think it's more the setting of New York that is kind of rubbing me the wrong way right now. I'm not a huge fan of it. Feels just
Yeah,
yeah, it doesn't feel I don't know. It's
I
real
think so
life.
too.
Yeah.
I will push back and say that if it gets a single person into Magic, we can all put up with it because we don't have to play them.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that ultimately.
I have
Um,
found that I really didn't like the Spider-Man set until one of my friends sat down and was like, "I'm so excited to play Spider-Man." And I was like, "You like the Spider-Man set? I haven't met anybody like that." And he was so excited. He had like 6 Spider-Man decks. And it was fun because he got to enjoy his deck against the deck I enjoyed. So
that is
I
that
cannot
is a
be
very
bothered
good thing.
to care about what the art looks like on cards, especially when we've had conversations talking about should cards have alt arts. Like
Mm, fair enough.
it doesn't matter.
Mm.
I guess I agree with that. The Spider-Man one, I think specifically rubbed a lot of people the wrong way because it was like kind of lazy.
Yeah.
Like there was like 150 Spider-Man cards in it, which was just a lot. Like just cards of different Spider-Man. But I think a lot of people also didn't like that it was supposed to be like a mini set, and then they like decided to push it, and so you got all these random really bad filler cards.
Yeah.
Uh, I know that rubbed people a lot the wrong way. I think another kind of issue with those cards is that I think a lot of the universes beyond, maybe not a lot of them, um, but they want to bring new players in, but they also want to make those decks feel good, and they want players to have a reason to buy the cards. And so it feels like they print sometimes very strong cards. I felt like Final Fantasy was actually the worst about this one.
Mm.
Like there were so many insanely strong cards printed into it that it feels like you have to buy that set regardless of if you like the setting or not.
That's fair.
Um,
I
and
I
that
could
is kind of frustrating to me.
I
Not
could
enough
not
that
agree
I
less.
Oh boy.
really.
I don't so Commander is all in all a casual format that has access to every card. If you want to win in like 3 cards, you can already do it. Final Fantasy didn't change that. I think you're looking at something in its isolation and saying this is a problem because A, I have a pre-built prejudice against it, and
Hmm.
B, because I didn't find anything that I really like in it. So I think not every commander set has to be for you.
Well, here's the other
No,
thing that I
I
think.
agree with
Let
that.
me.
I don't think every commander set has to be for me.
I also think
I
the
just
focus that you guys are placing right now is Commander. I think Magic is a lot more than just that. The community is really not fired up because these Universes Beyond sets are standard legal. So like the competitive scene or the scene of like there's plenty of other formats, and I think we kind of fall into like, oh, Commander, casual, play whatever you want. Which at that point, yeah, duh, it's no problem. But when you start looking at things like, oh, these cards are legal in standard, where people are playing for money or for prizes or for whatever, they're playing competitively. They're forced to then like, I mean, the whole thing with VV, like VV was in 60% of all winning standard decks or whatever at like the
Mhm.
top level. Like it wasn't like you even had a choice. Like the meta was determined based on the powerful cards they were printing into Final Fantasy. And if you wanted to play, and if you wanted to play the game that you enjoyed at that level, now all of a sudden you're being forced into an IP that maybe you don't like. Maybe as a Magic player, you got into it back in the day, and you like playing standard and you like playing at a high level, but now all of a sudden, to play the game that you've liked for so long, the meta is now like Ninja Turtles and Spider Man. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where a lot of people are kind of upset, is because it's not, oh, you can just choose not to play it. It's like, well, for a lot of the people that do play the game in these 2 player formats or these limited formats, you're forced to. Like if you're gonna play at a high level, you have to dish out money for VV, and VV is like a whatever, like a $60 or $80 card or whatever, and you have to you're just one of everybody else now because that's everything that's being played. So I think that's like the main problem beyond just like the flavor of Magic, and you can have whatever inside of Magic. And we talked about like Magic becoming the next Fortnite, where like everything is in the game. I think it's fine to have everything in the game, but to a certain extent, I would say it's the problem of it being the meta in something like standard in the more competitive formats. Like you have to play it if you want to win.
I would push back and say they're gonna play the best cards no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's Final Fantasy.
That's what I'm saying is because
Yeah.
if they're
So
printing the best cards into a Turtles with Pizza set, now all of a sudden 60% of the decks in a game that has been high fantasy and like its own IP for so many years, now all of a sudden 60% of the decks are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or whatever.
Turtles.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's
they're
the part
definitely
where the
not
problem
Teenage
is.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well,
let me tell
okay,
you.
Final
I played
Fantasy
against
then.
those.
Final Fantasy then, whatever. Like the point is,
I don't see a problem because I don't think you would be complaining if it was Edge of Eternities.
well, Edge of Eternities is also in universe.
So
Yes,
yeah.
but Final Fantasy has that fantasy aesthetic.
Yeah, I'm
No,
not
I don't
I'm not as
actually have.
mad about
I don't
Final
have a big
Fantasy.
problem with the Final Fantasy. Yeah, the Final Fantasy aesthetic is not actually an issue. I think the cards look cool. I thought that was the best example of they were printing a Universes Beyond set that they knew people were gonna like and they wanted people to get into, and so then they designed the cards to be super powerful to just kind of like play into that. I guess to like kind of like increase that. And I don't like maybe it just felt like the Universes Beyond sets get some special treatment as far as the power level of the cards that get put in them.
Final Fantasy, I think, it's definitely a symptom of showing like cards that have been getting power crept for years. And I do agree that the set was very strong. Like it's incredibly strong. A lot of the cards in there are super good, but I don't think that's a Universes Beyond issue. I think every single set is getting stronger. Like Dragons
Would
of
you say Edge
Tarkir,
of Eternities and Lorwyn are as powercraft as Final Fantasy?
no, I'd say Edge of Eternity is actually the precons are.
They're
Like
they're
the
good, but
precons
they're
are
also only
so.
worth like those aren't actually they're just
It's not
really
about
well
money.
tuned. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not about money to build like a strong commander deck. If you're talking like legacy stuff, like like Edge of Eternities is also really strong. Like, it's got crazy cards in there. And I think Magic as a whole is getting power crept like really fast. Dragons of Tarkir, all of those precons swing like crazy. They're all at least level 3, maybe even oh, they're definitely not 4 decks because they don't have every game changer in them. But I would say Universes Beyond actually show the symptoms of Magic the Gathering far more than any other set. So I think that's why they're so polarizing.
Mm.
I think we
Except for
should cut it
Fallout.
here.
I think Fallout should be taken out. I don't like Fallout. Should have been Skyrim.
Then
Should have been
my
Elder Scrolls.
atomized spell is going away if you take out Fallout. I need that spell in my deck this week.
I need that. I need that so bad.
All right. I think we should cut it here. I think we've been yapping for a long time.
It's true.
All right.
I like it. I'm excited to see your guys' decks next week. Yeah, bring your A game, gentlemen. And I hope I don't return it to your hand.
I'm gonna bring Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Final Fantasy. I'm gonna shove it down your throat.
I'm just